So I'm going to see how this works. Okay, so that works. That works. All right, so this is the intermediate training for Enlisted. Why I say intermediate, and hopefully my network don't go down in like 5 or 10 minutes, because I believe this might take at least a good 10 minutes to explain. The first video was a whole rundown, me ranting about certain things, and of course how to do tutorials. This was a straightforward tutorial. Make this one real fast. Intermediate, not the basics. So you want to know how to do bayonet charges. You want to do how to do radio communications. You want to know how to tag in enemies. These are all intermediate things you want to know. You want to know how to use the map. You want to know how to bring up so you can actually see all your tutorial stuff. If you're using PlayStation 5, press for 2 seconds on the D-pad in the center of your PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4. That's 1, 2. It will stay on the screen. Now if you just press it once, just tap it once, the map will show up. And then you can use your cursor, your R3, to initiate the flashlight to show you exactly where you need to go. That's how that works. So once again, 2 seconds for map and 1 second for flashlight, or just tap for map and 2 seconds to bring up menu. So 1, 2, it stays up. If you don't do the 1, 2, if you just hold it, it goes into toggle mode and turns itself off. If you hold it, it goes into toggle mode, turns itself off. Maybe you want to do that, maybe you don't. But 2 seconds, it stays up. And then press it again, it goes into map. Then you press it again, it comes off. 2 seconds, stay up. Press it again, bring up map. Now, if you just want to bring up the map itself, just tap it once, so on and so forth. Now, the next thing you need to know with regards to when you're in a combat situation, the first thing you want to know is how to use the map. So as soon as you're spawned in a location, you bring up your map, and then you point towards where you need to go for your squad. Now, if the enemy is over here and you want to go over here, to flank the enemy, you would then put up a waypoint. So you press triangle, and triangle will turn your cursor, which used to be a flashlight, into now this secondary cursor, which then you execute by the same way you would do if you have a sniper scope on or binoculars, by pressing, as it says, the waypoint marker, which is X. Typically is R1 if you have a sniper scope or you have a binoculars, but here in situation it's an it's X. It's just X. So that's how you do that. And then you type it again for go off, and then all of a sudden it's over there. Now you can't see it because it's in the woodsy area and it's a small red tag. So it's terrible. So the only way to actually know exactly where your waypoint marker is to put it close to your location so you can actually see it. So when you turn it off, you can actually see the red little dot right there. You can see it. But my suggestion, intermediate, to learn how to play the game, or even for beginners, never pay attention to that. Pay attention to your mini-map, to where the waypoint marker is. Maybe in combat it would change from a different color, but standardly the red color is the indication for where the waypoint marker is, and the waypoint marker typically has a circle over it. So if you see, like, say, if you want to bring up binoculars, another part of intermediate training is once you're able to purchase binoculars, you hold the up button. Now typically if you're holding the up button, he goes for a drink like this, but you could quickly exit out of drinking by just running, or canceling out by running or aim down sight. So you drink, you aim down sights, you cancel out your drinking. Now you hold for about, I believe you hold for about 3 seconds. Or maybe he doesn't have binoculars. Let me switch to someone. So switching is the standard. Yeah, the same way you bring up your knife, you hold the right button to switch to a different character. Here, I'll hold for a different character. Let's see if he has binoculars. No, he doesn't have binoculars. Let's try this. Okay, so binoculars. So the same way you would tag with regards to waypoint, that's the waypoints over here. You could see even when you're turning this way and turning this way, you could see the waypoint is all the way to the left. Even out of sight of your binoculars, you know exactly where you have to go, which is, I mean, all the way to right. You know where you have to go with regards to a waypoint. So let's say the enemy is all the way over here to the far right, where these tags are. These are the enemies. You then press the R1 to tag enemies. The same R1 you use to bring up weapon wheel, but the R1 then switch towards this as a tag marker only when you have a binoculars and a sniper scope. And you could do 3 of them. You could do 1, 2, 3. You can't see that much, so let me do it here. 1, 2, 3. Can't see that much either. I need a dark location in order to see it. Now there's delay. There's a delay with regards to putting markers, so you can't just put them automatically down real fast. Three, see? 1, 2, 3. You're only allowed to have 3. So, and they would disappear. And you can also see them outside of your binoculars. So, if you're looking more and looking more, you at least know exactly where the enemy is. See, now they're to the far left of my binoculars. And I want a waypoint to go to the far right so I could go around them. So, you get rid of binoculars by pressing the triangle. And then you bring up your map again. And then you press this, and then you press here, and you put the X button here for you to go here, so that when you bring up the binoculars a second time, you look around, you're confused, you're trying to see, oh, there's my waypoint, because the binoculars will tell you exactly where the waypoint is, so you know it's to the far right of you, so you could see. So if you're confused with regards to where to go and you can't see the waypoint, just bring up your binoculars. Get in a prone position, bring up the binoculars, and now if you see it to the far right of your binoculars, you will know exactly where it is, because the waypoint will kind of guide your eyes towards where you got to go. And the moment it disappears, and this is intermediate training, that means it's over here within the sight of your binoculars. The moment it goes out, you're too far off. The moment it goes in, you're at the location that you need to go to. So that's how waypoint, and that's how using binoculars go. Binoculars is the same button for when you're drinking, and binoculars is the same button for up button for when you need the binoculars too. And sniper scope works the same way. You press the R1, and it's typically the same button for command, but it only goes into R1 once you have a sniper scope or binoculars. Now you want to do the bayonet charge. Now the only way to do the bayonet charge on a weapon is to have the bayonet, have your weapon, your rifle upgraded to use bayonets, and you can only upgrade it to use bayonets once you get it to like a level 3 or something, level 3 or level 4 of a specific weapon type, like the A3 or something like that. USMC issued A3, or any weapon that you see a bayonet. Once you have a bayonet on your weapon, you never have to worry about going to the butts again. Like if I switch to a character, like say the sniper, he does not have a bayonet, so he will automatically, once you're running, he will do the butts. He would do this. Another thing to learn with regards to how to do, like say if you don't have a bayonet and you want to keep butting people and you run out of bullets and you want to do that all day, you run, keep running, and then hold down on the R3 button and then let go, and he will butt forever while he's moving. As long as your R3 is L3 is moving, you could just guide your R3 around while he butts forever and press it again for him to stop butting. So run first, hold down R3, let go R3, and he'll butt forever, and press R3 to stop. And that's how that works. Now for snipers, not for non-snipers or anyone who has, even if the sniper has a bayonet, to do the bayonet charge the same way you do for the butt. You run, and you press that same button and hold it down, R3, and he will keep charging. Eventually he'll run out of breath. So the bayonet charge only works when you have enough breath in your lungs. Otherwise, if you try to go for a bayonet charge, he will keep doing this. And you won't be able to do it. He'll run out of breath, but he'll still be able to do this. Straight stabby stab with the bayonet. The bayonet charge is a one-shotter, just so you know. The regular stab is not a one-shotter. I believe you have to stab at least 2 times, 3 times if the person fully upgraded their character. But the bayonet charge is typically a one-shotter. Unless the person is OP, you would have to stab 1 more time. But typically for regular soldiers or anyone in combat, the bayonet charge is a one-shotter. So you could one-shot one guy, then turn around, and then one-shot another guy if you still have enough. And the best way to do that, you would go like... Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Drink your flask. Halfway in the flask. Do it again. Halfway in the flask. So typically you would have to drink your entire flask, maybe a little bit more than half, but not all your flasks of water. That way you could be able to use the bayonet. But in order to use the bayonet and to do the bayonet charge, which is run, the same way you do with the button, you have to hold down on it for it and to do it. Now, just running with the bayonet forward. Now, here's another thing. Just running with the bayonet forward and going like this. Just goes for the bayonet charge. Because that's how you know you're doing the bayonet charge. He yells out. However, you don't do the bayonet stab. You just do the bayonet charge. So it's very important to understand that. So when you run on the run button with the L3. Then hold down on the R3 for the bayonet charge. And then let go. And then he goes for the charge. Otherwise, you'll stay in the run mode. You have to hear him yell out and say, ah. And then you have to press it again for the stabby stab. Because if you're just running with the bayonet charge, you're just charging with a bayonet in front of you. But you're not doing the stab. You have to do the stab after the charge in order to execute the charge. So that's the intermediate training with regards to how you could use characters in this game. Now, another thing, other than bringing up your binoculars. Oh, wait a minute. Switching off for characters. Let's see. Pressing up is binoculars. Yep, holding on up is binoculars. And of course, tagging. You could tag 3 times with the R3 button. 1, 2, 3. But you can't tag 4. So the tagging is for the enemies. I forgot to mention that. The tagging is for the enemies. The waypoint, you press just waypoint with regards. You just hold down the center D-pad once. The waypoint is press triangle once you bring up the map by second the D-pad, center D-pad. And then press triangle to switch the flashlight into the cursor. Otherwise, if it doesn't go into a flashlight, it goes back into this, where you can see the flashlight. So you have to press triangle, turn the flashlight into a cursor, then press X to where you want to go, and you're going over here. Now, you get out, you say, okay, I can't see it. Whoever made this game is shitty, I can't see it. So, you then bring up binoculars, you turn to the left, turn to the right. There it is, you see it. It's to your far left of your binoculars. So you now know where you got to go. So, once it's over here, and you're turning, it's disappear. Now you know where it is. So if you're confused where the waypoint is for your team, and you're not looking at the mini map, just bring up your binoculars. You will see it outside of the view of your binoculars or your sniper scope, and you'll now turn. This is where you gotta go. So, and the same goes for the enemy's waypoint, the enemy location. It would indicate in your binoculars or your sniper scope where the enemy is. It would show to the far left or far right, so you know exactly where it is. So if you want to flank an enemy, you go to your waypoint around where the waypoint is. If you have to bring, I mean, if you assume someone is competent enough in the game to know how to tag things, whether it's enemy or waypoint, you will automatically purchase a binoculars, equip it at least on every single member of your team, or at least on two members of your team, and use said two members at the very beginning. Now, another thing with regards to using characters in the game, intermediate, is your call. Using a call command. Once you purchase a radio operator and you purchase a medic, let's say you go down, you have no more medical bags, you have no more healings, at least two of you guys are still alive, but you ran out of healings. You would then call for your medic, if your medic is still alive, to bring the medical pad over here and say, I need some med kits. The med kits, if the medic is still alive, he would drop a med bag right by your feet. Then you'll be able to, or he will come over and heal you. And let's say if you don't have someone who has like a proper knowledge of how to use commands in the game, you use your comm guy to do the commands in your team. So you never have to worry about giving commands to non-people outside of your team as well if you have a comm guy. And of course your ammo guy, if you select I need more ammo, let's say you ran out of ammo, which is very hard to believe, but it can happen if you didn't purchase an ammo bag and you purchase nothing but grenades, extra grenades. Like if you unlock backpack and you decide to give yourself more grenades but not more ammo, and you put more grenades on every single character except one character who's carrying an ammo pouch, you could execute for that character to drop ammo. I would suggest going half and half. Half of your team have grenades and the other team to have ammo, because let's say for instance someone carpet bombs you and kill half of your team or most of your team, you now have no ammos to drop, or you now have no medkits to drop. So you have to be able to intermediately decide who's going to have. I would say go half and half, and that's how the R3 works with regards to commands. Not typically switching. Switching is typically hold down on the right direction button on your PlayStation. You switch to different characters. I would say suggest to make sure all your weapons have bayonet on them, because if you're shit out of luck and you run out of bullets, or if it's a situation where you're inside trying to defend a post, or in a situation where you do have enough bullets and grenades, but your reload time's taking for god awful too long, and the enemy is right in front of you, and it's about to shoot you. You could then go for the quick charge with your bayonets and go So you'll be able to get bayonets are one-shotters. Bayonet charge are one-shotters. So the moment you do this and stab them once, it's a one-shotter. That's all you need to know about bayonet charge. Regular bayonet stab, not a one-shotter. But a bayonet charge, that's a one-shotter. So that's how that works. Also, I'm trying to think of anything else intermediate. I already know jump is X, reload is square, prone is circle, holding down prone. Switching weapons is switch to the knife is right directional button. Switch back to main weapons is always going to be triangle. R1 is always going to be grenades. I mean, L1 is always going to be grenades. Aim down sight is always going to be L2. Shoot down sight is always going to be R2. Those are all the basics from what I did the last time before. Climbing up stuff is always going to be the same button that you do for jumping, X. Crawling on the stuff is always going to be hold down on the circle button. So all the basic commands from before are already stated, but what I wanted to do today was to go into more intermediate training with regards to using squads, using binoculars, and using waypoints. So those are the things I needed to explain specifically that I didn't explain before, specifically the bayonet charge. Because the butt, if you have a butt on your rifle and you're using the butt of the rifle and you don't have a bayonet, you will always be hitting the enemy with your butt. But a butt doesn't do a one-shotter. A butt, you have to hit the enemy twice with a butt. But with a bayonet, the bayonet, even if you don't kill them one hit with a bayonet, they start to bleed out and eventually they die. But a bayonet charge will automatically give them a one-shotter. And of course, One other thing, I'm forgetting something. Oh yes, and I also mentioned that hold down center D-pad for 2 seconds will bring up your different options menu with regards to all the basics of the game. So that's just 2 seconds, not tap on it. Tap on it just brings up the map. Hold for 2 seconds. So, but I already explained that. And I believe that's it, pretty much it for everything. I haven't unlocked the engineer yet, so I can't exactly explain the engineer. I've unlocked the fighter pilot, but I haven't actually practiced a lot with using the fighter pilot to shoot dummies and drop carpet bombs and stuff. So I can't really explain stuff. I just went mostly into how to use your infantry guys, how to use call signs, oh yes, the one other thing that's intermediate with regards to the one last thing is when you do purchase stuff from the store, and I'll exit out of this. Never purchase stuff for your main guy, whoever you're going to be used, or anyone within your squad, that makes them look distinguished in their appearance, because that's an easy way for whoever your enemy is to tag you if you want to look fancy, with regards to everyone in your squad. Let's say your commander has something specific on them to make sure to indicate that they're the commander. Like he has a flashy helmet, or like leaves on his helmet while everyone has regular helmets. They will automatically know who you are because you look different from the rest of your troops. Just like they will automatically be able to identify a medic or a gunner if they see the gunner is the one that's carrying an automatic, and everyone's carrying rifles. Like say you have a medic or you have an engineer or a comm guy. They'll be able to tell who is who by what they're wearing on their back. So you cannot change them having the backpacks, and you cannot change them having the radio comms, but you can change them wearing outfits. For in that situation, you have every single guy look exactly the same. That way they won't be able to distinguish which one of you is which, because the problem with the bots in the game is that they're all morons, and they will never do anything the way you want them to. Covering fire, some of them will just take crouch position in an open area because you decided to crouch behind a wall. You have so many guys in your squad. Some of them are so stupid they crouch in an open area, they get shot, it kills. Now you don't have any more troops. So the best way, in order, another intermediate tutorial when you're having a squad, is when you're switching characters by holding down the right button, switch and see exactly where all your squad members are. Party and have them all positioned in an area where they're all covered in a nice covered spot. Because if you don't switch, if you're only thinking of yourself and not your squad, by the time your squad get carpet bombed or machine gun, you realize you don't have nobody else in your squad other than you who took cover. So you have to pay attention to where all your dumbass bots is, because the people who made this game don't make them smart enough to do common sense things. So basically, there is no bot in the game. You are the bot. You have to be the bot. And you have to be yourself. So you're doing two jobs. The job of your entire squad and the job of yourself. So even though you have a backup squad, you really don't have a backup squad, because there is no backup squad. You're the backup squad, because your bots are morons. They only shoot and fire in the direction where you're shooting and fire. They only do certain things when they're taking damage. So they all think for themselves. They only think about themselves. So if let's say the enemy is running all over the place, the enemy's here, the enemy's there, the enemy's there, the enemy's there, different squads are all over the place. They're aiming at all different locations where the enemy's trying to get, and sometimes they're trying to decide where they gotta aim, where they gotta shoot, and all they gotta do is goddamn shoot. So sometimes you have to take the initiative to switch to each of them and to shoot in the direction just to get them to do something logically. So that's another thing you have to think of when you're playing the game. You have to be your squad at the same time. So those are all my intermediates with regards to the game. I'll play this for about, I don't know, for about a good hour if my internet is still up, and then that's it. Most of the times you're going to die because some people really know how to play the game, or some are just lucky, and most of them are pay to win, and some of them aren't pay to win. Some of them just play forever and ever just this game, like they don't have a life or something beyond this game. But the ones that do pay attention to the tutorial and how to do certain things, they know what they're doing. So typically you will have a guy tagging. Typically, mainly you would always want to start with either a tank or a sniper when you go into mission. Like if you're truly trying to take a location real fast, you go to your squad members. But if you want to help out your team, you would go for tank and snipers if you want to help out your team. But if you're trying to take a position real fast, you will go to a squad. But the thing is with squad, once they charge in and get to a location, they'll be the first to be taking fire. You know, the brave are always the first to die. So that's how that works. So yeah, that's it for this video. I would say I'm gonna keep doing the mission and go straight in. So that was a tutorial, intermediate tutorial with regards to this game. So I'll play for right now. Now they've been having issues. They've been having issues with regards to um, bugs lately. I've been noticing it. Within the past 2 days, they've been having issues with bugs. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna try to keep this silent. Maybe it was on my internet yesterday, but I highly doubt it. I think it was something going on with their servers. You know, you will always get these guys who want to hack and do all this bullshit. Okay. So here, I'm going here. I'm a sniper. I'm going to see if I could see the enemy from up here first. Try to see if I could jump on top of the house.
Come on, get some, get some, get some.
But it's kind of hard. So what I'm going to do is it's hard to bring up binoculars. So I'll get rid of this. This will spawn in time. There. I didn't really need to. I had my sniper scope, so I could see where the enemy is. See if I see any of them. I don't see any of them. There you go. Someone was right there. So I'm gonna bring up my binoculars. Come on, but not. The problem. Yeah, there it is. Damn it. The problem with binoculars, the problem with anything is you have to be fast enough in the game in order to do certain things. Unfortunately, someone thought it was a good idea to have binoculars, to have the binoculars and the sippy sip be the same button. Like I said, many genius ideas from genius people. I'm just going to charge this location. Screw it. I'm going for the enemy. What the fuck? Okay. They're right there. The enemy's right there. Fuck. It's also hard.
The enemy is trying to take the control point.
Binoculars, please. See, someone thought it was a good idea. Someone thought it was a goddamn good idea to have the sippy sip be the same fucking button as the binoculars. There he is. Breath control. Hold in the button to do breath control. Hold L3. Take a deep breath. Aim down sights. Shoot. Hold. You got about 10-15 seconds cool down to breath control. Breathe in again. Aim down sights. Tag where the enemy vehicle is. So your troops know exactly where the enemy is. Look for more enemies. Enemies are over here, over here, over here. Aim down sights. Enemies over there. Bring up binoculars again to help the team. If you're shitty at helping people, binoculars works wonders. Take a breath. Read down sights. You're also helping if you have someone who's a chopper. If you have someone who's using a plane, see, they hate when someone is using binoculars. But that's the beautiful part about it. Binoculars help the team. If you're shitty at anything, if you're shitty at everything, then you could be the guy who's just tagging where the enemy locations are. So that allies would know where the enemy is. That's why I push them back, because I was tagging everybody. Tagging is very helpful. Now, waypoint is also I'm gonna get on top of a building, like I said, behind here. The enemy's not gonna spawn here because we've taken this. I'm gonna get on the building up here. Hopefully there's no one within the enemy's team that's fast enough. So I'm gonna bring up my binoculars to see if I see anyone. No. Bring up my binoculars again. Stop drinking. Or maybe I do need to drink. It's very quiet. It's weird. How come no one's here? There they go. Wait. Okay, they are here. Okay. Christ. Okay, binoculars, please. Wait, binoculars again. Someone tagged the enemy. No, that's the enemy. I need to look the other direction. A tank. Heal. They're using choppers. I mean, they're using a plane. I just used the medkit. Why the hell is it taking forever? Tank is over here. Tank is over here. Enemy is over here. Enemy is over here, boys. I just tag you. I just tag him. I tag him. I tag him. They can't hear me, whoever's playing the game. But at least I tag, so they know exactly where they gotta go. Switch. Switch. They're in the building. They're in the goddamn building. It's like I'm the only one using the freaking binoculars. Or sniper scope.
Let's go!
But eventually, you know, beginners will learn how to understand how to use these things. Shitty part about using the binoculars, you can't run with the binoculars.
This is our last point of defense. Hold out to the last man.
Such a dumbass. Realize the sniper scope is right here. I hear him, I hear him, I hear him. Binoculars. Binoculars, please. Oh, I keep forgetting my sniper has sniper scope.
Our mission is to hold our position.
Binoculars, can I see anything? There's an enemy. I don't see anything on my binoculars. Okay, so okay, go to the next position. This time I'll stay for a good distance. What the hell? Yep, someone's right behind me. Son of a bitch is right behind me. Some of them stay back, so you have to sometimes use your brains. Yep. Some of them actually stay behind your squad. Come up from behind your squad. Good. Now that I know this, I know that some of them are stragglers. They're going to try to hit us from behind. So I'm spawning. So it won't be here. So he's a little bit forward, but he's behind some of my squads. Sucks to be him. Well, if he's smart, he will understand that those he killed have now spawned behind him. So he has to move up. If he's dumb, he'll realize and stay within the building. Assuming that someone's not going to find him. So you just search the area. Yep. That's what I thought. So, okay. So the capture location is here. Means some dickhead is gonna probably try to... He's probably gonna try to surround us. Come on. Let's see how my troops are doing. See if anyone's out in the open. They're out in the open, you fucking morons. Okay. See how Williams is doing. Williams is out in the open. Williams, you dumb. That's the problem though. The moment you switch to actually go into a lower location, you have to like go into a large lower location. Bring them all into a large lower location because they're so dumb. If I switch into, like, say, where he is, okay, so they're all being smart now, but I have to go into a large location and duck, like a place where they can all hide. No, those are my troops. Okay. Okay.
Damn! No bullets!
An enemy is over there. What? Let's see. No one's on top of the buildings, but I see bullets coming from that rig. I see bullets coming from that location. I don't see anyone. It's very strange. Oh, there he is. There he is. The little cocksucker. If you didn't have your binoculars, sniper scope, you would not be able to see this. Nope, I got no snipers, so screw it. Come on. Is he dead? Yep, he's dead.
We're boxed in. Hold the last control point.